I have been reading books since I left the womb. That sounds like an exaggeration, but it's not. And you'll have to trust me on that one. However, since I was born, I have thrown out very few books. And because of this, I have quite the collection for myself, to the point where I think, especially given that it's going to continue growing for hopefully quite a while, that I should start cataloging all of the books I have now to get ahead of myself before it gets to the point where I'm like, yeah, I have books. Where are they? Don't know. I'd like to get ahead of that, so I plan to. Today, my goal at the great hour of 7:35, I will embark on a journey to catalog all of the books I have in my possession. Last time I counted, I had about 123. That was, I think, 2 years ago, and I have so many more books. Well, not so many, I'm gonna say that, but I have quite a few more than I did then. So we're doing this. The categories I have come up with are going to consist of musical albums, classical literature, ancient Greek literature, manga, children's fiction, YA fiction, adult fiction, non-fiction. The way I'm going to have these cataloged is that I'm going to have a physical catalog that is going to be put into this book, which I got from Barnes & Noble. It was extremely overpriced, but I bought it. I tried to do this once before, and I learned that it's kind of inconvenient to have it not be on grid paper, so I got a notebook that has grid paper. I also am going to do a digital record. I don't know if you guys have seen the video of that guy. I'll have to find it, I guess. That guy who got the little library scanner. I don't have the money for that. I also don't have the amount of books necessary to warrant a piece of machinery to scan all of them. So I am going to just type it into a spreadsheet by hand, which is fine. Further, I am going to mark down the name, the author, and try to mark down the date I got it. That's more of a future thing. If something is marked by a circle, it is going to represent that it was from my original library, and if something leaves my library, it is going to be marked with an X. So many symbols, it's so fun. I'm also going to mark down if it is a book that was given to me, especially if it was a book that was originally read by somebody. So any books that are given to my friends are going to be marked down OL and then their initials. So it would be original library and then their initials. So my professor gave me some books, my friends gave me books, my grandmother. I can have it marked, and then I can mark down their full name at the bottom of a paper first time it shows up, I guess, which I think is an interesting touch that adds more of a trace to this catalog other than just these are my books. But this is the journey that I'm embarking on today. First step is going to be fun. The first step is going to be writing down every single book I own, categorized in a way, I suppose, which my books as of current are scattered around the room because I've run out of space on my bookshelves. Ignore the fact that I have a massive shelf that runs the span of 2 of my walls that has no books on it. Ignore that. That's not for books. These are for books. And I should be getting a new one. So, anywho, time lapse of me doing this, I guess. As it would turn out, the time-lapse button looks like it's recording, even when it's not recording. So, I did write down every book I have, assuming that there would be a super cool time-lapse of me doing that. There isn't. It doesn't exist. In spirit, it does. In physicality, it does not. So, so we're gonna pretend like it does, and, oh shit. I forgot those books right there. Give me a second. Yeah, give me a second here. I don't know. I remember one of them. You would have seen it in the time lapse. You would have seen that I looked at it. I was over there, and then I was like, oh shoot, this one fits in this category. I should write it down. And then the other one was, oh, I totally forgot. Damn. Now, now I have every book written down, and we can move on to the fun part, which is really not fun at all. It's just as tedious as what I was doing before, which is assigning. How many categories are there? 9. So, hey Siri, what's 127 divided by 9? 40.11111. That makes sense. Here's how we're gonna do this. This first page is going to be table of contents. So then it's going to be 127. I mean, 14 pages for each category, and to number every page, which is going to be a blast. I'll come back to you when I finish this. Every page now has its own page number, and we're good to go. Now all that has to be done is writing down the names of all the books and putting them into their little categories, and then doing their little markings. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, hypothetically, unless I mess up and then no longer. But that won't happen. I made a mistake. First page. So we're off to a great start. I started doing this. Shouldn't have done this. Why? I really should have done it so I had like a cap off so I could write the author's name. This is too long. Now that sets a precedent for every other title. So if an author has a really long name, it won't fit. I don't know how to fix that. But Great. Great. We're good. I'll fix this and I'll get back to you at the end because there's not going to be any more mistakes. The book has been completely filled out. There's really not much in there right now because it's kind of a lot of pages, but here's an example. That's also classical literature, and then like all the other ones I did, which means that the last and final step in this catalog before I am done for the night, it's been 2.5 hours, but there's only the one thing left, so I'm gonna finish that up, and you'll have a time lapse of this, and then I'm going to go to bed. A lie. I'm going to read fan fiction and then go to bed. This just in, the catalogs are now complete. There is nothing left to do except for update them every time I buy a new book, which I will definitely not forget to do. By any means, I will remember to update my catalog every single time I buy a book, without fail. This is true. I know it to be so. Do not worry. Anywho, with the catalog complete, both the physical one and the electronic one, that kind of brings this entire project to a close, and there's really nothing else for me to talk about. So I guess this is the end of this video, and thank you for watching. Thank you for coming along on this 3-hour 15-minute journey. It's been a blast. I don't know, man. Read books and subscribe and watch all of my videos that'll ever come out in the future of the world. This is my first video. It's probably really good and you're probably so shocked. Anywho, have a nice night or day or morning or lunch, and I'll talk to you in the morning.